back to another falls fishing video. Today, this is the start of a series. I'm doing Quest for a 20. It's my journey to trying to catch a 20-pound carp. I've been fishing for 16 years and I only ever caught one, which is embarrassing. But it's quite a good lake for it. I mean, there's not many 20s in here, but it's good for catching, good catch rate, because if you're not catching, you're going to be unconfident, and that's usually where you stop catching fish. So it's going to take me a while, since, you know, difficult conditions, winter. It's going to be a fair few episodes until I manage this 20, but I just wanted to kick it off on a lake where I can get you some bites, because I've not filmed a carp fishing video on my channel yet, although I do carp fish a lot. And yeah, so the aim of this is just to catch a 20-pound carp. It's going to be a fair few episodes, and a couple different venues, but hopefully I can catch that 20. I have had good fish from this lake before. This is actually where I've caught my 120-pound carp. It's a lake known as Brickyard Pond on the Ashby fisheries complex. 3 very good lakes, apart from Grendon. Yeah, it's a good bites lake. You get a lot of runs, and even though chances are my 20-pounder will not come from here, because I mean, as far as anyone knows, when you ask people, they say the carp in here don't get any bigger than about 17 pound, but I did manage a 20 out of here, so the chance of me catching that same fish again is slim. But I just want to kick off the series with a few bites, get the ball rolling, and get a decent carp fishing video on my channel. This lake is very good for big hits of fish. I've had sessions where I've caught about 70 carp in a day, which is ridiculous. I mean, they all are around the 2-pound mark. I've had a few bigger ones, including 120-pound carp, which was a very lovely fish, and it's actually one I happened to have caught about 2 years prior at 14 pound, and when I've landed it recently it was just around 22 pound, which is, you know, a very good growth. Turned up today, it's a cold winter's day and the lake is gin clear. I can pretty much see the bottom all the way to the other side of the lake, but there's a lot of carp in here and they've got to be somewhere, so I'm chucking around single hook baits with small little bags of PVA pellets, well, pellets in a PVA bag, and hopefully that'll give me the best chance of finding these fish, and when I find them I can obviously, that'll tell me exactly where they are on the lake, because at this time of the year they're going to be together most likely, all in the warmest place. I'm trying this spot first, but after a while of most likely blanking, I will move up the lake to the slightly deeper part. There's people fishing the shallower part, which is very good for big hits of fish, but you know, once again, it's quite a small lake, so realistically you can catch anywhere on the lake. But yeah, some very popular venue, and if you plan on fishing it yourself, I say don't leave home without your popped up corn, because it really takes this place apart. I mean, boilies work, anything works, but popped up corn just give you that edge. No more than a size 8 hook is the rule of this venue, and no barbs, but doesn't matter for me because that's as big as I would use anyway. I've had one run this morning, which I sadly missed, but it was before the cameras were on, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Although I have only caught 120-pound carp in my life, it's a lot down to a lack of trying, because it's a lot to set up, and I'm a big fan of roving. Yep, we're on. Maybe. That was a liner, I think. Just a liner. What was I waffling about? Oh yeah, I only caught one 20-pound carp in 16 years, which is, I'd say, down to a lack of trying. I mean, I enjoy roving, you know, small amount of dead baiting kits, some lures, and in the summer for my carp fishing I enjoy a bit of stalking. I struggle to sit in the same spot for a while, but especially when I'm not getting bites, but yeah, I'm going to stick it out today and for the rest of this series and try and see if I can get some big carp. The aim is to obviously catch one above 20 pound, but I'd be happy with a 40, but slim chances, especially in Northamptonshire. And it's a good area for carp, but small carp and big hits rather than, you know, singular big carp. We did just get a liner. I wasn't confident, but I've had a bite. I've just had that liner, so all the signs are pointing to the fact I might catch something, but it's rather off-putting because it's usually quite a puddly, chocolatey lake, and I'm usually fishing 2 inches from the bank, but I can see all the way out. But the carp have got to be on the move about because I can't see them sitting anywhere. And I've walked around the whole lake, so they're somewhere, and we'll catch one. As you can see, put some up. Been a long hard day. It's a fair old size, this one. Not in general. I know a lot of you carp pros out there are going to say it's tiny, but for this lake, this is what I would call a clunker. I believe someone on the other bank's just had one, so I think the fishing might be picking up a bit. It's a good old carp, this one, and it looks very similar to my 20 that I had in here. I mean, they all are peas in a pod out this venue, but it is surprising me how similar they. Well, lost it, sadly. It's a good fish as well, but things are looking up. So as you can see, we've just lost that one. It was quite big. I think it was over 15 pound. It was definitely well in its doubles. We got the rods back out and I'm confident of a bite. I apologise for the terrible filming on the last fish. I was doing everything with my hands, rod in one hand, trying to reel, film, net. It was quite difficult. I think that's why I lost it. But my cameraman's got his lazy arse out of bed. This one. So the footage on the rest of the video should be a lot better standard, and hopefully we can get a few fish for the camera. So we'll keep fishing, we'll see what can happen. So change up our rigs a bit. Started off, I mean, I'm using the same rig, but I started off feeding handfuls of I think CC Moore tuna pellets, and it hasn't been working, so I've changed over to I've changed over to particle, and it seems to be working a lot better. It's just a nice hemp and corn mix. Obviously this time of the year you don't want to be feeding too much, so just small little handfuls of the hemp sinks into the silt and it gets some rooting about, which is usually what they'll take your bait. Fishing a little further out than I usually would because it's quite good clarity. Hopefully that can give us the best chance for fish. Earlier, I let out the largest I've ever done in my life. We need to catch a fish. might just live here, you know. Is my arse hanging out? So, we didn't have much luck in the last swim, and Clark came for a walk down here and mentioned that he'd seen something. So I came down and we found out that the majority of the lake stock are in this shallow bit. It's a bit off-putting because I can see the bottom like everywhere, but I can also see the carp swimming about, so I've got a feeling we should be in this spot. We have seen a few carp that we could, definite upper doubles, very big fish, and let's hope we can get one. So unfortunately, after all that fishing, we had no fish to report, but please join us next episode on Quest for a 20 pounder.